Today on Suncoast View, the arts community is changing our local economy, but what does it mean for the Suncoast's future? We'll discuss.
And Sarasota Circus Arts Conservatory is headed to the Smithsonian to headline the 50th Folk Life Festival. And they're the first circus act to be invited. Conservatory co-founder Dolly Jacobs is here to talk about the amazing honor and what goes into taking the show on the road.
And we go behind the scenes at Feld Entertainment to see Marvel Universe live. Daredevil motorcycles, amazing acrobatics, and powerful women. And it's all created right here on the Suncoast. All this and more right now on Suncoast View.
And welcome to the show. It's a happy Tuesday. We are joined by Candace McCallia from 360 PR. Welcome, Candace.
Hi, I'm so happy to be back.
It's nice. It's always nice to see you.
Thank you.
You know, Stephanie jokes when she's here that we troll social media. Yes,
right.
stalk is another way to say that.
I always, think about that now when I post something. Is it going to show up on the Suncoast View?
Well, I saw that your daughter celebrated a nice little milestone. Tell us about it.
She did. This is my daughter. She just graduated from 5th grade.
Oh.
So on to middle school, which,
Nice.
Oh, God bless you.
That's a big one.
What a nice celebration for her. But I noticed that you celebrated her graduation in your own way. Is that a dirty martini?
It is. Is there any other kind?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Or a better question, is that your husband?
it is. Yes, it is.
If not, there would have been a problem.
And you know what? Your whole family. I love checking out your social media because you really know how to. You work very hard. You work very, very hard, but you also know how to relax and spend time with your family, which
Work
is important.
to live, don't live to work. Yeah, yeah. This was Father's Day, so we had a great time celebrating Dad, who, I mean, we're blessed. Awesome baby daddy I've got.
But as you go into the teen years, a little girl with Dad's going to be tough.
He's already joked with her. It's going to be the scene from, I think it was Lethal Weapon, and when the guy comes to the door and he's cleaning his shotgun, and it will happen.
To have a dad in law enforcement and a charming
No one will
little
come
girl.
visit you.
Right. Sorry, guys.
When she's a teenager.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we also are very excited who we have in the kitchen today. We have Chef Daniel from Japan. Welcome. What are we making
thank you.
today?
Today we're gonna make a shrimp pineapple fried rice.
Oh,
Nice.
I like the combination.
Shrimp, pineapple, fried rice.
All my favorite things in one.
Yes, Bobette, this is in your honor.
Yes, I know.
Yummy.
I knew you were looking and thinking about it.
Yes. So remind us that Japan, I know that you still are in Sarasota at Bee Ridge and 41, but your other location is at the mall, right?
Yes, it's across from the mall, UTC Mall. We've been open for about 10 months now.
Oh, nice. So that means a big anniversary coming up in a
Yep.
couple months. Well, we can't wait to join you later on in the kitchen. You know, we've had a lot of shrimp lately. I have to point out.
But I love shrimp.
It's
I
a
do
perfect
too.
dish for the summer, though, because you don't have to
It
make it
doesn't take
warm
a
if you
lot
don't
of
want.
cooking and
Yeah.
Now, ladies, you know I have always had a huge respect for what ladies have to do to be ready to be in the public eye, because the public eye, there's so much scrutiny. But after last night, I have an even greater respect. I, with a few friends, got dolled up for a benefit reading of Golden Girls
No, you
Live.
didn't.
It was a play reading for Suncoast AIDS Theater Project, which benefits Metro Wellness up in St. Pete at American Stage. I was Rose, the Betty White role.
Oh, my
And these are the other girls. We have one more show next Monday night. We actually have two shows. One is sold out, and then a 9:30 is still available at AmericanStage.org. But I have to say,
that is.
I would lighten up the
Do you
eyebrows
think you look
a
like
little
your
bit.
mom?
I look like my mother if she was like the mother of the bride in the 80s and somewhere on Long Island. Now, like coming from a theater background, I used to, I've done shows where the character had to get in drag before. The thing I forgot is you have to get such a close shave, and then getting the eye makeup off, I feel like I've ripped layers of skin off of my eyes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It
look
takes
fine.
a lot of time, doesn't it? How long does it take you to do that makeup?
I was lucky because one of the girls in the show is a really amazing beautician, and so I just sat there and she just beat my face in about 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
But
was
how long did it take you to get it off?
It's days, I feel like. If there's still remnants, I apologize.
Did you take it off
washing my
before you
face.
left the theater?
I did, because I didn't want to drive over the Skyway, just in case
Just
you
in case
break
you got
down.
pulled over and had to walk down the street.
Try explaining that. We would have had a different A block today. I think. All right. Well, so again,
Well, you look good.
I appreciate you
You
ladies.
did. Just
Oh.
lighten up a little on the eyebrows.
yeah, went a little.
We're very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it is time for our first hot topic, and the arts organizations on the Suncoast are pumping hundreds of millions of dollars into our arts economy. A survey by the nonprofit Americans for the Arts shows that the economic impact from Sarasota's arts and cultural organizations is up 64% in the past 5 years. Sarasota's arts are responsible for $295 million. Manatee County Arts impact is up 61%. So we've talked about this on the show before. The arts obviously have a huge effect in our area. What do you think we can do to keep this trend going? We're on the up now.
Well, they're going to have money. You know,
Yeah.
they have to be supported. And when we put money in the arts, we're getting that money back. We don't pay state income tax because of our tourism. And tourists are not going to come if there's nothing to do. So we've got to entertain them, and they demand top style because they pay top price here. So I think we've got to support them with money and going, but still we've got to back them up.
I think a lot of the art organizations are doing a great job by trying to keep that variety there. And they're bringing in great acts. You know, when you talk about, for instance, like the Van Ways or the Oslo, they're bringing in, or, you know, players, they're bringing in performances that can be placed on stages in New York.
Right.
And so we're really having that quality here. So I think that part is important. So we just have to make sure we continue to do that. And like Linda said, support them.
And what's amazing is that it isn't just what you see on stage. The arts in our area are responsible for so many jobs because you have to have administrative, you have to have stagehands working backstage, you have to have marketing, accounting. I mean,
Right.
it's been a huge boom.
And
for
we
us.
get the benefit. The Circus Arts Conservatory sends people into the schools to teach things like physics and math. And I've watched them teach fifth graders and said, wow,
Now they
I finally
understand.
understand it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
finally know what this means. So we get the benefit of them staying here too. They go to nursing homes and entertain. So this is a great place to live because they're
That's a
here.
good point.
Yeah.
From children through retirement and
Yeah.
beyond. Candace, you work with a lot of clients from all different areas around the country.
Yeah.
Do other areas, you know, do we really appreciate what we have here? Other areas don't have it?
I think we do, but I think what's even more exciting is how the arts organizations are collaborating with this whole Bayfront 2020 initiative to possibly, there's a lot of talks about building a performing arts center that they can all share, like a state-of-the-art center like what they have similar in Kansas City, which is, I think, would be phenomenal for this area to really up the level of the atmosphere when you go to see some of these amazing performances.
And that would be helpful for some of the smaller organizations.
Yeah.
Because I know, I don't know if it's the
Yes.
Big 8 or the Big 9, I think it's grown. But we have, you know, the big arts organizations that everybody knows that have their own home.
Right.
But, you know, some of these smaller ones that have to rent to have a space that they
Yes.
could all share would be wonderful.
We
Yeah.
only stayed because of entertainment. My husband wanted to move here, and I was crying. We were here, and I don't want to move here. I'm bored. And then we went to the Oslo that night, and we came out of that theater, and I said, I could do this.
It's huge. People move here specifically for the arts and culture.
It's
I mean,
true.
I just like the variety because you can go from anywhere from an improv show, comedy show,
Yeah.
or something.
Drag
as-
queen bingo
Yeah,
and the opera.
Yeah,
You're all
you
in one
literally
day.
can get all of
Exactly.
that in one place.
It's true,
and
a block
that is
away.
rare. So you can't even do that in Miami.
Right.
And then
know?
you can watch the sunset into the Gulf. So,
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
mean, it's
With
pretty-
fine dining.
Yes.
And then, you know, also, obviously, we're going to be talking to them a little bit later on, but the Circus Arts Conservatory, another great example of
Yeah.
really keeping Sarasota on the map, the whole area.
The
Well,
Smithsonian Institute thinks we're worthy of history,
Yes.
so
Well,
that's got to prove it.
we'll be learning a little more about that a little later on. Well, sex offenders have free reign to use social media sites like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. But the U.S. Supreme Court just struck down a North Carolina law that banned sex offenders from those sites. The state says the law was created to treat the virtual world the same way states ban sex offenders from playgrounds and schools where children hang out. But the Supreme Court says access to social media is a First Amendment right. Does this concern you that sex offenders are legally allowed to be on child-friendly social media
Yeah,
sites?
but
Yeah.
voting is a right, and sex offenders who've been
Correct.
convicted can't vote.
Agree.
So you give up your rights when you're convicted of a crime.
Agree.
And I have had a lot of people ask me to try to friend me on Facebook recently, and then I've gotten Hi, baby. What you doing tonight? Why, you could be my child.
Well, I'm on the other side of this. I feel like if you have paid the cost of your crime, then you should be your rights should be restored. And then I think to protect kids and things like that, we need to do more about policing who they're friends with, teaching them the proper way, and you don't just welcome everyone as your friend. You don't know them, they're strangers, so you don't just go around saying, yes, I accept this friend request. And I think that's more important, because regardless of if they've been committed or not, they're predators out there. Sorry, if they've been convicted or not, they're predators out there. So the key isn't just to keep the predators off the internet, but making sure that we are giving our kids the tools so they know that predators out there and that they know how to stay away from them.
Child safety, like you, is very important to me. But to play devil's advocate, being a registered sex offender, there's a variety of offenses that could get you convicted, and there are some, even on the Suncoast, who maybe made a bad plea deal and are convicted. What about getting them back acclimated to society if they are not a threat to society? What about trying to get them back into the work?
That part I think is a little bit more involved, so I don't know if I want to touch that, because that's so hard, because it would depend on the person. And some people may pretend to be a good guy for right now, but as soon as they get whatever reinstated, then all of a sudden they're back to their old ways. So I think the key isn't to rely on those individuals. The key is to rely on your teaching to the kids, because you never know.
Make
totally
mistakes.
disagree.
Children make mistakes, and they're not that good. And you look at some of these people online, and they've got a blank picture and nothing under there. I tried to look up some of them. And you don't want a child to make a mistake and then pay forever for it.
And not every parent, I mean, I am relentless about my daughter's social media. I've got it on my phone. I check it all the time. I check who's friending her, who she's blocked, who she's not blocked. But not every parent does that, and not every parent has time to do that, and not every parent knows how to navigate social media. Like, my daughter, she has a mom who does social media for a living, but not every parent knows that. When you commit a sexual offense, you have to register as a sexual offender, and I think you should lose that privilege. I mean, I just think children's safety is the utmost priority.
I do too.
I agree. Whatever keeps children safe. And, we're talking about this aspect as far as them sex offenders being on social media sites.
Right.
But to the point of
that are
being in
on there that
playgrounds.
haven't been convicted.
Or
That's
go
the
back
problem.
being in a mall, being in a playground, being in. So it really is. How do you keep children safe? It's a very, very tricky conversation, as long as we all agree we want the kids safe.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, but also having to do with technology, we do know that phones are a source of probably all of our daily distraction, but the consequences aren't just skipping out on work. They could also be ruining your love life. Phubbing, or phone snubbing, as we've discussed before, can be a detriment to our social interactions. But a study from Baylor University says that phubbing decreases relationship satisfaction overall, indirectly affects depression, and can even be the source of conflict in 22% of couples. The 3 connection factors in a relationship are accessibility, responsiveness, and engagement. And phubbing, they say, ruins all 3.
What's phubbing?
Phubbing, phone snubbing. It is
like
basically
ignoring a text.
if you and I are out to lunch and my phone, I get a text and I'm disengaged
I'm
from
definitely guilty of that.
So this is why I put the Wonder Woman ringtone on my husband's phone. So every time I call him, it's Wonder Woman ringtone. So it's hard for him to phub me. But
What I hate is if you're in a group of people and you're talking and they're all on their phones.
yeah, that's annoying.
That's very insulting.
Yeah.
If you go out to dinner and everybody pulls their phone out, that's
Because they
very
got a
insulting.
text, or because,
I've got
True.
something more interesting than you to look at.
There's
That's
a
what I see.
comedian, I think he used to equate this with call waiting, but it applies here, where if you're out to lunch with someone and you get a text, whichever one you choose, it becomes a small competition of who's
Yeah.
more important to you, the person that
Yes.
texted or the person you're with.
And I don't like the idea that now I am being treated like I have to respond to you. No, my life is my life, and I understand you have some reason for texting or calling, but my focus is on me at this moment. And, unfortunately, you're just going to have to wait. I hate that people now think that I am obligated to respond to a text in a certain amount of
It's
time or
true.
email. No, it's not about you.
I think that's great to start to train people that
Yeah.
you won't get an immediate response from me.
Even in a work environment now, people think that you should respond almost immediately.
Yeah.
It's like, what if you're in another meeting, or what if you're having lunch, or what if you're with your significant other?
Yeah.
Well, we've had this conversation in the newsroom. Some people will check their phone maybe late at night before they go go to bed, just to see if there was an email that was an emergency. But then you end up opening up Pandora's box because you're like, oh, so-and-so needs this. I need to move my desk. This thing's changing. So,
Well, with me, that's okay. I sleep with a dog, and he's not going to complain. But you guys, you may have a whole different thing going.
And not only that, I'm just one of those people, like, I try to train myself. I don't carry the phone, or, you know, I'm not the one that has it on all the time that's checking it.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it at one place. I check it periodically, you know, a certain amount of times. But, you know, on the other end of it, I do miss emails. I do miss text messages, and they'll be hours later when I respond. But I think that is the better balance than really being chained to that phone and constantly
Being
having
rude.
to.
because you've got to live off your
people.
phone.
You have to be
It's tough.
present. You know, it's important to be present with whoever you're with at the moment.
Well, we know one thing for sure. Cavemen never had a phubbing problem because they didn't have the technology. Well, we are going to check out our happy hour forecast, and when we come back, we're celebrating a very exciting milestone for one of our great arts organizations.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your happy hour forecast. And it looks as though Cindy, our third named storm of the season, has a destination with Texas and Louisiana, with Louisiana getting the biggest brunt of this system. Right now, the system continues to march off toward the northwest very slowly right now, and it appears that we're not going to see much of it happening here as far as that goes. Just a few brief showers are possible this evening, maybe a little heavier activity later as maybe some banding comes on through, but for the time being, this continues to push very slowly off toward the west-northwest. And the western edge of it, not much at all going on. Most of it's to the north and east of the center of circulation. And in the latest of Tropical Storm Cindy, the pressure now down to 999 millibars. Top winds are at 45, and that's about as far as they're going to stay. They're not going to go much higher than that as it marches off toward, again, the border of Texas and Louisiana, it appears now, with the heaviest weather by far along the east portion of Louisiana. Well, much more in our forecast coming up at 5. See you then.
An amazing honor has happened to the Circus Arts Conservatory. They are packing up and they're about to hit the road for Washington, D.C. They are taking their show on the road to the mall in Washington. They're going to be the headliners for the 50th anniversary of the Smithsonian Folk Life Festival. And here to tell us about that amazing honor and that awesome trip is the co-founder, Dolly Jacobs, and Jennifer Mitchell, who is the managing director. Oh, you guys, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
How did you get chosen for this honor?
You know, it's about time. You know, it was the first time that circus is now being recognized as an art form, and the folk art, it just goes hand in hand because circus arts is handed down from one generation to the next, and so it's a given. But I'm so glad to be part of it, and it's to represent the circus on the mall. It's incredible.
Oh, now you were given a great honor for this. Tell me about that. Jennifer, tell me what she was
Well, of
given.
course, the Smithsonian first got to know Dolly Jacobs because she's the first circus artist ever to be awarded an NEA Fellow, a national recognition in the arts, which has elevated circus arts here in the community, but nationwide as well.
Yes, it
Oh,
has.
that's amazing.
Congratulations.
And I know, you know, when you had to go there, how did you feel to know that, you know, circus has been around for a very long time, but you?
Well, you know, I went representing all the great artists of the past, my father, you know, all the great artists that many of them homesteaded here in Sarasota. So I went with that in heart, that I was representing them because they deserve it. They paved the road for the rest of us, and it's upon their shoulders that we stand. So I accept it on behalf of them.
And you're taking
That's how
quite
I-
a crew with you, aren't you?
We are.
Tell me what you're packing up and taking on the road.
Well, of course, the biggest part of it is that we have our big top on the National Mall, partnering with the National Park Service. It's a
Circus
very
Den on the
exciting-
mall, first time ever, and it's us.
Absolutely, and that's a great honor. And with it comes 100 tons of equipment, circus equipment. Oh yes, indeed.
You don't travel
And-
light.
No, circuses don't. But more than 100 crew members, which include Sailor Circus youth performers, professional artists, including Dolly and others that we've presented at Circus Sarasota, and of course a tech crew and an incredible staff who are helping to work together with the Smithsonian Folklife Festival to bring this presentation of the circus arts to more than 1 million people that will experience it in D.C.
Now, you are going to do a show in that tent. So you're going to perform, Dolly. What else will we see?
Well, there's also other circuses from across the nation that will be there, and a few of them will use our tent, but there will be a lot of substations that are on the mall that you can learn about clowning, you can learn about costuming, you can learn all about the circus, not just the performing aspect of it.
So why is this important as an educational outreach? We talk so much about education in the Circus Arts Conservatory. This is just a part of that, isn't it?
It is.
And as Dolly
Yeah.
said, not only will we be presenting performances, we'll be presenting the life of circus, the art of circus. In fact, our education program will be bringing a circus physics tent, and we'll be talking about arts integration and how we go into classrooms and we correlate math and science with circus.
Wow,
That's amazing.
And so other people are going to be performing from here with Dolly.
Yes, other professional artists that you've seen at Circus Sarasota. 30 students in the Saveur Circus youth program will be presenting. And I've been telling people we'll be transforming the National Mall into a circus playground.
Oh, I
like the visual.
What a great thing this is for Sarasota. And for you guys, Dolly, we're just so proud of you and all
Oh,
you've done for
thank
this
you.
community.
Thank you.
And we're so proud of all the other things that the Circus Arts Conservatory does. Because today, I'm sure there are people in nursing homes who are making those people laugh and smile
Yeah.
and teaching kids physics, and then you will amaze everybody. Because over 1 million people are going to be watching this.
It's amazing. It really is.
Is it a little scary?
No, it's
No,
exciting.
it doesn't bother her.
No, it's exciting. It's really exciting, and I'm so thrilled for the children of Saveur Circus. And there's other youth circuses that are going to participate also. But it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for them, and I'm so proud. I have one of my students that's on the Roman rings, and you know.
Another nice thing, $1 million from the state.
Yeah.
Very
That's
good
always
for
good.
Circus Sarasota kids. For the kids who are at the Sailor Circus, this will mean the world to them,
We'll
won't it?
finally be able to get air conditioning.
Can you imagine sitting in Sarasota watching a circus performance, doing a circus performance,
That's
no
amazing.
air conditioning?
Well, we were just talking about how arts have a major impact on the economy. And indeed, the Saveur Circus Arena can be used for many things. We hope it to be a community jewel. And we have been growing our programming for students and for professionals alike. And so air conditioning the arena will be a very important piece of our path, but also an opportunity for the community to embrace a new performing arts center.
Well, and outside of traditional circus arts, which you always have done, you've been doing the last year more outreach with other businesses in the area, so even if they're not connected to arts. So tell us more about that.
Absolutely. We offer corporate training through Circus Arts. We have been working in schools. We bring schools to the arena to learn and engage in the circus. And if you think way back, actually, we hosted the Greg Allman Band a number of years ago.
remember that.
So you can remember that. Those are the types of things that we hope to do in the arena and bring together circus and this community.
Oh, we
Yeah,
can't
well,
wait to see you in
congratulations.
Washington. It's going to be June 29th through the 9th of July. Over 1 million people are going to be watching there, and it's going to be streamed live online. More than another 1 million people will be watching that. Thank you guys so much. For more information, go to thecircusarts.org, and safe travels to you guys.
Thank you.
Coming
Thank
back,
you.
we're going to talk about how we can get our guys to go to the doctor when they need to.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
What's a nice Jewish girl to do when she can't introduce her WASP boyfriend to her conservative parents? Hire an actor. Hilarious and insightful, Bo Jest is at the Players Center June 14th through the 25th, and it's your ticket to a sizzling summer. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit theplayers.org. Don't miss Bo Jest.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
And welcome back. Now, this may shock you, but 1 in every 4 men have not been to the doctor in a year. But June is Men Health Month, and Dr. Bradley Hupp from the Gulf Coast Medical Group is here to help us get the men in our lives back into the doctor's office. All right, so tell me, in your opinion, why are men not going to the doctor?
Well, men are full of excuses. So, you know, we always have a reason why we can't go to the doctor. It's well, we don't have time. You know, we don't have insurance, or maybe I feel fine. Why should I go to the doctor when I feel fine? You know, so that's about the only time men go to the doctor. Something's wrong. You know.
Oh, but when we're looking at statistics, we're seeing there have been some increases in risk factors like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes, and things like that going up. You know, if we go from year to year for men.
Not good.
Yeah,
Not in the right direction.
Yeah, that's correct. Well, men just are naturally risk takers. We tend to not take care of ourselves like you women do, and we neglect a lot of basic things. We don't see the doctor on a regular basis. We're not getting the basic checkups, so we're getting high blood pressure and high cholesterol, and we're dying of cancers, and when we could be preventing those things.
Why do you think it's going up?
Well, I think it's...
They're not going to the doctor.
We're not going to the doctor.
But that's always been the case, right? I mean,
well, you women are having babies. You go to the doctor regularly. It's us men, we just don't. We tend to be, we just tend to
well, you go when something's wrong.
Something's wrong,
and by then it may be too late.
Exactly. There's so many things we can prevent. We can prevent diabetes. We can prevent heart disease. We can prevent a lot of cancers if we just go in. And that's a big thing. Just going in.
Be proactive.
And we're hearing that you have like a doctor's order. So what are the men?
So yeah,
what should they do?
What should we do when we go?
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing is, if you're a man listening, the first doctor's order is just get in to see a doctor. I think that's the most important thing. From there, the doctor will take it from there. They'll probably want to get some blood work annually. That's a big thing. The blood work's going to catch a lot of diabetes, a lot of the cholesterol issues. So the doctor will take it from there. The doctor will advise you, what should you control your blood pressure? Do you have a cholesterol issue? If you're over 50, get a colonoscopy. That's an important thing for men and women to do that. But there's some pretty basic things that men can do to help them stay healthy and to live longer.
And we're hearing that, you know, on the other flip side of it, women are actually living longer than men, and much longer. So why is that? Is because of those risk factors that we're seeing and that we're actually addressing?
I'm absolutely. You know, women outlive us men by 5 more years, and that's significant.
Well, now it's a competition. Men are going to go to the doctor.
Well, I mean, us men, we're smoking more, drinking more. We tend to be overweight. Our blood pressures are higher. Our cholesterol's higher. So I think if we just get in to see the doctor, get your checkups, your doctor will help you to help you stay better, help you stay healthy.
1 hour of your year.
That's true. 2018 is going to be good for the men. We're going to change those numbers.
If you're a woman out there who has a husband, get him into the doctor. That's if a man won't do it, the women can do it for us.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and great advice. Women, get your husband or your hubby into the doctor for their visit. Now, you can get more information from the Gulf Coast Medical Group's website, and they have all the information you need for the doctors that you may want to visit. Next, a 90s cult classic gets musical. We'll be right back.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
For years, I told everyone my Craftmatic adjustable bed was the greatest until I got the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has an adjustable pillow feature that's awesome. You're gonna want one too when you see how little they cost.
If you've ever had a bad night's sleep, call and price the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has so much more than other adjustables and still costs up to 50% less, featuring a rising adjustable pillow rest, bedside power plugs, underbed night lights, and more. Available in all mattress types with optional heat and soothing massage for as much as half the price of Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. Adjust the rising pillow feature to help align your head, neck, and shoulders. See for yourself with our 30-day in-home trial. So call and price one today for less, up to 50% less.
You get so much more and it still costs less. You gotta see how little they cost.
Call 1-800-237-0214. That's 1-800-237-0214. Call 1-800-237-0214. Call now.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
And welcome back to Suncoast View. If you are just joining us, we will be heading into the kitchen with Chef Daniel from Japan, where we will be making pineapple shrimp fried rice, which actually is all of Bobette's favorite things, so it's kind of in her honor. We will be joining Japan a little later on with Chef Daniel. But first, the 80s film Heathers was a dark comedy about the ups and downs of high school life and the extremes that teenagers will go to fit in. It's also one of the latest movies to be turned into a stage musical, and it is being produced regionally for the first time at the Starlight Room here in Sarasota. Here to tell us more about the musical is the show's director, Sunny Smith. Sunny, welcome.
Hi, thank you guys.
Now, I have to confess, and I think Candace said the same thing, big fan of the original film.
Huge.
Came out in the late 80s. If you don't know, Winona Ryder and Christian Slater, who was very much like Jack Nicholson in this film.
Oh, yeah.
For our viewers who maybe have not seen the original dark comedy, tell us what the plot is about.
Sure. So the story revolves around Veronica Sawyer. She's a girl who's a misfit, doesn't really fit in any social group, but wants to climb the social ladder. She, through some circumstances, gets in with the cliquey girls, the Heathers, and things are working out for her. She gets a boyfriend, things are going well, until they aren't, and she's on the outs with the Heathers, and then everything goes downhill from there.
Oh, it's those dark thoughts we all had in high school.
Oh, yes.
She plays them out.
She does.
Corn nuts, something about corn nuts.
Oh, yeah.
There's corn nuts.
This is definitely a Netflix rental if you haven't seen it. But now the musical, tell us how the musical has kind of incorporated some of the dark, because it's a very dark comedy. There's murder, there's some serious topics.
In high school?
But it's in the vein of those dark
Oh yeah, bullying, murder, suicide, things like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Sounds like fun.
Right? It's a party.
High school, I mean.
It sticks pretty close to the movie, to be perfectly honest, but the songs, a lot of the songs are fun, funny. Some of them are a little deep, and so they treat some of that darker matter a little more seriously. So you have a little bit of everything to kind of entertain all people that would be interested.
So when we think about other films that turned into musical comedies, I mean, there's Little Shop of Horrors is really about a man who chops up people and feeds them to a plant, but it's still an entertaining musical. How does this fall in between like Legally Blonde and let's say Footloose?
Oh gosh, I mean, it would be more on the legally blonde side, but definitely Little Shop. I mean, you're hitting it on the head. It's really in between that. The fun, you've got the fun flouncy with the Heathers, but then you've got the serious issues and things that kids are still facing today.
Right. Now, we should talk about, there's so many great places, performance places on the Suncoast, and the Starlight Room, which is a restaurant right near downtown. Tell us about how it's transformed to be a performance space.
Sure. So, you know what's amazing is that you can do theater anywhere. You can really take any space and do theater, and this is actually a perfect space for it because it's so intimate. And having this type of musical up in your face, it's assaulting, but it's so entertaining and you want more. So literally, people are sitting right at the stage. The artists are performing right in front of you.
Oh, I love it. So it's kind of like the black box experience you would get in New York or Chicago.
Yep.
All right, well, we are very excited because you brought a performance with us. Tell us, to set up the song we're about to hear.
Sure. So this song that you're going to see is called Candy Store. And this is really your first intro to the personalities of the girls. We meet them, they're introduced by Veronica, but this is how we get to know about who they really are and how they run the school.
All right, well, let's see the ladies of Heathers the Musical at the Starlight Room. Take it away.
I like looking hot, buying stuff, faking not. I like drinking hardbacks and dad's credit card. I like skipping gym, scaring her, screwing him. I like killer clothes, kicking nerves in the nose. If you lack the balls, you can go play dolls. Let your mommy thanks you a snack. Whoa! Or you could come smoke, pound some rum and coke in my Porsche with the quarterback. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Honey, what you waiting for? Welcome to my candy store. Time for you to prove you're not a loser anymore. And step into my candy store. Dice fall. Pay the check, help you cheat. All you have to do, say goodbye to Shamu. That freak's not your friend, I can tell in the end. If she had your shot, she would leave you to rot. Of course, if you don't care, fine, go braid her hair. Maybe Sesame Street is on. Whoa! Or forget that creep and get in my Jeep. Let's go tear up someone's lawn. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Honey, what you waiting for? Welcome to my candy store. Time for you to prove you're not anymore. And step into my candy store. You can join the team, or you can cry and moan. You can live the dream, or you can die alone. You can fly with eagles, or if you prefer, keep on testing me and end up like her. Whoa, honey, what you waiting? Shut up, Heather! Step into my candy store. Oh, time for you to prove you're not a lame-o anymore. And step into my candy store. It's my candy store. It's my candy. It's my candy store. It's my candy. It's my candy store. It's my candy store.
Well, Heathers the Musical is at the Starlight Room through July 2nd. For tickets and info, visit the Heathers website. Next, we go behind the scenes with Marvel's latest superhero show.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what's coming up at 5 o'clock. Another big announcement from Amazon, what the online giant will soon offer to its Prime members interested in fashion trends. Plus, a huge honor for a well-known Suncoast boxing champ, how Dave Jaco will be recognized for his skills in the ring. Let's get a check on our weather now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Hey, good afternoon, Scott. The third named storm of the season has developed in the Gulf of Mexico. Cindy now is out there and really kind of void of any significant thunderstorm activity, most of it to the north and east of the center right now. It is drifting for the most part, expected to make a break toward the northwest in time. Right now, top winds are at 45 miles an hour. It's stationary, and there's the forecast path and track right toward the border of Texas and Louisiana. Well, much more in our forecast, let you know about our chances for rainfall here coming up today at 5. See you then.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here, because
well, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds. No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Feld Entertainment's Marvel Universe Live is an action-packed event filled with some of our favorite superheroes. But the show is seeing some changes, and we visited Feld to see how women are getting involved in all of the stunts and the thrills. Let's take a look.
I started riding dirt bikes growing up when I was 7 years old, and I wasn't into sports or school at all, so this was a really good outlet for me. Well, Black Widow, she's known as, she's a Russian spy, and she's also a very great martial artist. The fact that I can portray her character riding a motorcycle is like pretty special to me, but yeah, the fact that I get to do that is very inspiring.
What do you say to the little girls out there who might want to do something they say girls can't do?
Oh my God, don't listen to them, just do what you want to do what drives you, what makes you happy every single day, what you have a passion about.
Oh my gosh, Rocky Raccoon he's just so much fun. He's got so much energy. He's got a little spunk to him, you know. He's a little rough around the edges. I kind of grew up doing gymnastics, and I did it competitively for about 7 or 8 years, and then I switched over to dance. So in a way, I guess I've kind of been preparing for this show almost my whole life.
I took karate for about 2.5 years, so I have a little bit of like knowledge of like the technique of like kicks and like punches and stuff. So I saw this and I was like, it's been a long time, but I'll go for it. And it actually helps having a dance background. Like, you're very aware of your body as a dancer. So like doing this kind of stuff, like the choreographed fighting and everything, it really helps. It's kind of an empowering feeling, actually. Like, I love it. I love playing a villain. It's fun because it's fun to be bad sometimes. It's a good feeling being one of the only female characters in the show, because there are few of us, but we bring a lot of power, and the guys gotta watch out.
How exciting. And what I think is exciting too is for all of the little girls and little boys that are going to get to see this show as it tours, how great to see like girls
people that look like
on
you.
bikes, yes, and like girls on bikes and girls climbing and girls fighting, like all the traditional things.
They didn't look like me, Bobette. Speak for yourself. I like the way they look, though. I like to believe I'm strong and powerful like
and
that.
when you know, I got to meet a couple of the girls, and one of the things that was really nice was these are all of the things. The one girl we spoke to was a dancer. Another one was learning the silks. All the things that they're learning here with the Circus Arts Conservatory.
Be incorporated in other ways.
Yes.
These little girls that are in camp at the Circus Arts Conservatory,
Absolutely.
they may be the stars of tomorrow.
And instead of having, you know, maybe they don't want to wear a leotard and sequins, but they can, you know, put on
you want to.
motorcycle gloves and hop on a bike.
You want a leotard and sequins?
I do. I'm sorry I didn't wear one earlier.
Well, Linda, you might have your chance. You can meet up with Marvel Universe Live on the road. They are on the road now. They will be coming close to our area, but you'll have to visit their website to check their schedule for tickets. Next, an American icon has some big changes, and you might be surprised who.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
You love your couch and want to protect it from spills, food, and scratching, shedding pets. Introducing Couch Coat, the reversible, washable quilted cover that protects your couch. Shield against spills, wow, stop stains, and dirty pet paws and sharp claws. Plus, it's reversible with 2 stylish colors. Guaranteed to fit any couch up to 92 inches or your money back. It even has covers to protect armrests. Machine washable too.
My grandkids destroy everything, but with Couch Coat, my couch is always protected, looking as good as it did the day I bought it.
Get your Couch Coat for just $19.99, and it's reversible in brown and cream, like 2 couch coats for the price of 1. Order right now, and you can double your offer. Get a second Couch Coat. Just pay a separate fee. Order right now.
Call 1-800-943-0710 to get your couch coat. Call now or go to couchcoat.com. So call 1-800-943-0710. That's 1-800-943-0710. Call now.
Get ready for the most hair-raising event of the summer. Feld Entertainment and the Ringling Museum present international circus superstar Bello Knott in Incredibello, a gravity-defying, laughter-inducing, super stunt performance live at the historic Oslo Theater. Don't miss out on the must-see event of the summer, Incredibello, playing June 13th through July 29th. For tickets, visit ringling.org today.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
All right, well, this is a fun story. So there are a few toys as classic as Barbie and her boyfriend Ken. And just as Barbie has seen some changes over the years, remember they kind of changed up her shape a little bit? Well, it seems Mattel thinks that it's time for Ken to get in on some fun and a little makeover himself.
Look at that.
There are now multiple versions of Ken.
Backstreet Boy.
I know, he's like a boy band, or in his case, maybe a man band. There's Kens of all races, hairstyles, body types, and based on his clothes, it looks like different interests.
Oh, I like that.
Man bun Ken.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
We might dismiss this
I
one.
wonder if you can take it on and
But
off
I like his cheekbones.
I know, Ken is looking a little different. And you
Yeah.
see he doesn't, there's a cornrow Ken.
Okay.
And you see Ken doesn't look like the waspy, I guess, blonde
well, he was just
surfer.
Blah. He really had no personality.
There we go. Ken with the good hair.
Yeah.
So Mattel has been saying that Ken is often young girls' first image of what a man should be, and so it kind of they have a responsibility to move away from that Olympic body and impossible standards and let it kind of look like what guys look like now.
I like that. They've done it so much for women because, you know, I guess we complain more, but I finally feel like it's time for them to step up on the other side. So I'm happy that they've done this for
because in most little girl play, there are no boy dolls. There are no boys to put in the action. So I think it helps to have both of them now. I like the way those guys look.
I do too. It's like a candy store for girls.
Well, do you remember too? They did the studies where little girls, you know, pick the doll that looks the most like you and pick the Barbie that you think is the prettiest. And a lot of times, you know, girls of color or different heritage would always choose the pretty one as the blonde Barbie. So, you know, the same thing is true of boys.
Absolutely.
Boys are still kind of developing who they are when they're little kids. So it's nice to see that.
Oh, now they'll have to be one of those characters?
You know what? Well, you know what I mean? At least now Kens are looking different, like what kids.
I mean, I remember playing like little games out with them. So now the kid is going to have more guys to play with because the girl's going to be like, okay, well, this one is going to do this one. You know, I feel like that is just going to encourage the girl to get more dolls, you know, because now you have more roles you can play with them.
And you can like Ken for his personality and not his strapping looks.
And you can make him do other things.
Although there's no Ken that looked like me as a kid. I need one a little shorter, a little wider, maybe, but that's all right. I'm happy to see different Kens.
It's your man version.
There you go. See, I'll get a man bun and then I'll look just like him. Well, forget the man buns. We're going to be going into the kitchen with J-Pan to make pineapple shrimp fried rice. We'll be right back.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Since 1928, Karastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Karastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good afternoon, I'm Haley Wilgus. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. Attracting more people and businesses to downtown Sarasota. What's being done to lure more crowds to the Main Street area and Riverwalk. And now taking a quick look at Suncoast Traffic Watch. No accidents right now, but traffic is backed up in Sarasota on US 41 and US 301. That's in the northbound lanes. Now let's head over to Bob.
Haley, a lot of clouds, not much rain today. A few showers still possible through this evening, even an isolated thunderstorm not out of the question. Small craft advisory mainly offshore right now. Some big surf still hitting the coast, and looks like a rip current advisory will stay with us all the way through Wednesday. And Cindy, this third named storm of the season, is out here in the Gulf of Mexico, not doing much, just kind of sitting here and spinning with most of the deep convection and storms well east and north of the center right now as it makes its way to the north. More on that at 5.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-962-4112. That's 1-800-962-4112. Call now, 1-800-962-4112. For a free brochure, call 1-800-962-4112.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Keep up with your investments and market trends by watching the ABC 7 Stock Report. Get a recap of all the day's stock market activity. Be sure to watch your Suncoast News at 6 for the ABC 7 Stock Report, sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
And coming up Wednesday on Suncoast View, one of our favorite mommy bloggers teaches us summer crafts for the whole family. It's also National Selfie Day, and we're going to teach Linda how to take the perfect selfie. Plus, Suncoast for Sale helps us get the most bang for our buck, and the best of Saveur Sarasota is in the kitchen.
Welcome back, everyone. Here in this kitchen, we're joined by Chef Daniel from one of my favorite sushi restaurants, Japan. What are you cooking for us today?
Well, today we're making a shrimp, pineapple, brown rice, fried rice.
Oh, sounds good.
Yes. Oh, Beth, your favorite.
I know, all of my favorites. Shrimp, pineapple.
Sounds
So
good.
we're gonna start with the shrimp here.
Okay. What kind of oil are you using?
This is just canola oil.
Okay, canola.
Gonna put some little bit of pepper and salt. If you could, please help me. Just watch this. And just
Okay.
turn over when it's
No
all ready.
pressure.
You're in charge.
Okay.
What's the shrimp?
What do you want me?
Okay.
You could do this for me.
Okay, do I go that way?
Now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this?
No, this is
Down.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's actually
Wow.
So how do the
good.
carrots factor into the recipe, Daniel?
we're gonna saute the carrots, onion, and the pineapple.
There you go,
Be
Linda.
careful. Yeah, it's
Ooh, look how fast they cook up.
But it may take me years to cut up this carrot.
all right. That's good. That's good.
Oh, good. I did it.
So you're just using a peeler to cut up the carrots? Is that because you want it very thin? Are you
Well,
keeping it the same consistency as rice?
Yeah, this is just to get the skin off.
Oh, see, here
that's what I
I
was
was doing
doing.
some strange shaving.
Now we're gonna
That's terribly thin. You
I
did
would
really
not
good.
have been able to do
Whoa,
that.
look at that.
cut it very.
Buy the ones in the
Smaller.
store. They're
You are
already,
very
you know.
It was a little
You're a
cheater.
very
Yeah, it's out of the
talented
way.
man.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Look at that.
Gonna saute
I can't
this.
cut anything that small.
That's awesome.
You're very particular. Oh, he's going to do the onions the same way.
Yeah, green onion.
Teeny.
And
Aren't you worried you're going to cut your finger?
Daniel, do you use the white part of the scallion for this recipe, or just the green?
you could. You just need to cut it very, very thinly.
Okay, you just chopped an
Oh my
onion in the time I
gosh.
asked a small question.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And tiny.
That's awesome.
right,
Oh, my
so-
goodness.
Gonna saute all this.
Oh, look, it's already
A little
burning.
bit butter.
Linda, I love you, but I think we'd still be on the carrot.
I didn't know I was feeling it. I had a long way to go on that one.
All right, we can just combine the shrimp now.
Okay.
It smells
Oh, it's
amazing
beginning to
already.
smell good, yes.
And we're gonna add some pineapple now. Now
Are
is
you going to cut that small too?
yeah, it's small
Wow.
pieces.
This seems like a fast, easy summer recipe.
Yeah.
Not for me. I wouldn't be able to cut any of this.
I know. Well, Candace was saying you could cheat by buying the diced carrot.
Yeah, smart.
I'm not calling you out. I think we'd all be with you.
No, it's, I mean, a given. Come on.
All right, so I got the brown rice
The
now.
brown rice.
The brown rice was
okay.
already cooked.
Okay.
Do you get it cold or put it at room temperature?
Cold room temperature is fine, as
Okay.
long as it's cooked.
Okay.
Okay, and we're just gonna add some
That smells good. What are we smelling?
Smells really
kneading
good.
soy sauce, a little bit grated ginger, and garlic.
Oh, I love ginger.
Oh, wow.
All right.
This is a very healthy.
Fast, easy, healthy.
And it makes it seem as if we can do it.
It's true, and not all of these
Oh, no,
recipes.
Oh, no, when
this
he
is
was
really-
chopping, he had me on
That's
that.
true. He lost us on the chopping, but we'd catch up.
Okay, at the restaurant we serve on this clay pot.
Why a clay pot?
It keeps it warm longer.
I'll
makes
eat a
sense.
carrot.
Very healthy.
Now, Daniel,
Smells
as you're
great.
finishing up, would you just walk us through a couple of the other dishes that you have at J-Pan? Like, let's actually start. Well, the pineapple's part of it. There's the
Tempura.
Shrimp tempura. We have a pork belly.
Ooh, pork belly.
The sushi here, we're well known for the sushi.
So good, yeah.
There's the spring rolls.
Spring rolls and the pork dumplings.
I'm going to pass some spring rolls down to the ladies on the other end while Candace and I start digging into the dumplings. That sounded different. All right, well, we also want to bring in Dolly Jacobs, who will be heading to Washington to represent Circus Arts Conservatory, and Sunny Smith, the director of Heathers the Musical, at the Starlight Room. It's an exciting time on the Suncoast right now. Daniel, thank you so much. We'll check you out. J-Pan, you can find in Sarasota, also by University Town Center.
Yep.
We're going to dig in. Don't forget, take some time, enjoy the Suncoast view.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.